Scientists announced the San Andreas Fault is due for another major earthquake, specifically in Southern California, where there hasn't been a major quake since 1857.
The San Andreas Fault is a big open crack.
The San Andreas Fault isn't just a line on a map, it's a living, breathing fracture between the Pacific and North American tectonic plates, stretching 800 miles through California. NASA's high-resolution satellite imagery has spotted something. Chilling, fresh, sprawling cracks snaking across the fault's southern stretch, especially near the Salton Sea. These aren't just scratches. They're visible scars of tectonic stress, growing wider and more interconnected by the day. Using interferometric synthetic aperture radar in SAR and GPS, scientists have measured ground shifts down to millimeters, showing the Earth bulging and twisting in ways that scream something's coming. The Coachella Valley and Carrizo Plain are hotspots, with deformations hinting at a fault under immense pressure. What's scarier? These cracks suggest the fault is no longer just creeping, it's cracking, signaling a buildup that could unleash chaos across densely populated areas like Los Angeles and San Bernardino. Could these fractures be the fault's way of warning us? Or are they the first tremors of an unstoppable disaster? While cracks are alarming, silence can be deadly. NASA's data has pinpointed seismic gaps along the San Andreas quiet zones where no small quakes or crete have been detected for centuries. The southern segment, from Bombay Beach to Indio, hasn't budged since 1857, making it a geological time bomb. These gaps, mapped with precision using satellite-based strain analysis, indicate lock sections where friction is holding back massive tectonic forces. When these zones finally snap, the energy release could trigger a quake exceeding magnitude 7.8, dwarfing past disasters. NASA's models show that such a rupture could send shockwaves rippling hundreds of miles, shaking skyscrapers in Los Angeles, and toppling infrastructure in Riverside. The absence of microquakes isn't a sign of peace, it's a red flag that the fault is storing energy like a coiled spring. Are these silent zones the calm before the storm? The San Andreas doesn't work alone. It's part of a complex web of faults, and NASA's imaging reveals that stress on the San Andreas is waking up its neighbors, like the San Jacinto and Elsinore faults. Recent data shows subtle movements along these secondary faults, suggesting a dangerous domino effect. If the San Andreas ruptures, it could trigger slips on these nearby fractures, amplifying the quake's reach and intensity. Simulations using NASA's geodetic data indicate that a multi-segment rupture could push magnitudes toward 8.0, causing widespread devastation. Even more unsettling, thermal anomalies near fault intersections hint at rising subsurface heat, possibly from friction or fluid migration, which could weaken rock and hasten a rupture. Could one fault's failure unleash a chain reaction across Southern California? Deep beneath the Earth, fluids like water and carbon dioxide are rewriting the rules of seismic risk. NASA's gravitational measurements and magnetotelluric surveys have uncovered fluid-rich fractured rock zones along the San Andreas, particularly in the Imperial Valley. These fluids act like lubricants, reducing friction and potentially triggering sudden slips. Recent microseismic swarms near these zones suggest fluid pressure is shifting, destabilizing the fault. Human activities, like groundwater extraction, are making things worse by altering subsurface pressure, effectively unweighting the crust. NASA's data shows a correlation between drought cycles and increased microquakes, hinting that environmental changes could push the fault closer to failure. Are we unknowingly greasing the wheels of a seismic catastrophe? Here's where things get weird. NASA's satellites have detected faint electromagnetic signals flickering near the San Andreas, a phenomenon called the piezoelectric effect. When quartz-rich rocks are squeezed under tectonic stress, they generate tiny electric charges. These signals, often seen before major quakes globally, are now popping up along the fault's southern stretch. Combined with ionospheric anomalies detected by radio signal monitoring, these whispers could be a new frontier in earthquake forecasting. While still experimental, NASA's ability to track these signals offers a glimpse into the fault's hidden Language. Are these electric pulses the Earth's way of dropping hints about an impending quake? A major quake won't just shake cities, it could reshape ecosystems. NASA's ecosystem monitoring satellites reveal that a San Andreas rupture could trigger landslides, alter river courses, and disrupt aquifers across California's diverse landscapes. In the Central Valley, a key agricultural hub, soil compaction from groundwater overuse is already stressing the fault. A quake could cause liquefaction, turning fertile land into unstable mush and threatening food security. Post-quake wildfires, sparked by damaged gas lines, could ravage forests and chaparral, displacing wildlife and triggering ecological shifts that last decades. NASA's vegetation and hydrology data is now guiding recovery models, but the scale of potential damage is staggering. Will the big one leave California's ecosystems in tatters? NASA isn't just watching the fault, they're building a digital twin of it. Using AI-powered simulations and data from satellites, GPS, and user-uninhabited aerial vehicle synthetic aperture radar, scientists have created 3D models that compress years of fault strain into mesmerizing time-lapse visuals. That's all for today, but more such updates, hit like and subscribe button.